43 years ago, Casio dropped a watch off a building to prove a point. It survived. The G-Shock was born, and it has spent every year since getting harder to kill, smarter to use, and increasingly difficult to ignore even in rooms full of expensive Swiss watches. Today we are counting down the 10 best G-Shock watches dominating 2026. From a transparent skeleton piece that costs less than a night out, to a full metal Casio that is having a serious conversation with luxury sports watches at 5 times its price. Stick around to the end. Number 1 is the G-Shock that stopped being a budget watch and became a statement, and it earned every bit of that status. Number 10, Casio G-Shock, GBD 100, DAO 1A7, G-Squad. The G-Squad GBD 100 is the G-Shock for people who actually use their watch while they exercise, not just wear it to the gym for aesthetics. The 46mm resin case packs a step counter, heart rate monitor, and full Bluetooth connectivity to the G-Shock Move app in a package that handles everything the fitness tracking category demands without the fragility that accompanies most fitness wearables. Drop this watch on pavement during a trail run. It does not care. That is not a marketing claim. It is G-Shock's core engineering identity applied to a platform that the smartwatch category has never managed to match for durability. The blue and black colorway on the 1A7 reference gives it visual energy without veering into fashion watch territory. The digital display delivers step count, heart rate readout, elapsed time, and standard G-Shock functions in a layout that is readable mid-activity. Bluetooth sync to smartphone provides automatic time correction and data transfer to the connected app. Water resistance is 200 meters, significantly beyond anything the smartwatch competition offers at this price. Battery life extends to months rather than days. The resin strap handles sweat, salt water, and impact without degradation. At around $100, the GBD 100 is the fitness tracking G-Shock for buyers who have broken a smartwatch and refuse to do it again. Durable, connected, and honest about what it is. A tool built to work, not a screen built to impress. Number 9, Casio G-Shock DW5600 SKE7. Transparent. Every decade or so, Casio produces a G-Shock variant that makes the watch feel genuinely new again. The DW5600 SKE7. Transparent is that watch for 2026, and it does it with one of the simplest ideas in the lineup. The case, bezel, and strap are translucent. You can see through them. The internal mechanism, the button housings, the case structure, all visible through the skeleton resin construction. The effect is immediately striking in a way that photographs suggest but only wearing confirms. In direct sunlight, the transparency shifts. Under artificial light, it glows differently. It is the same 5600 base case that has existed since 1987, completely transformed by a single material decision. The DW5600 platform is the foundational G-Shock, the direct descendant of the original 1983 square case, refined across 4 decades without losing the essential character that made it iconic. Shock resistance is full G-Shock standard. Water resistance is 200 meters. The digital display delivers time, date, stopwatch, alarm, and countdown timer. Everything works exactly as it should. The transparent construction adds zero functionality and reduces zero durability. It simply makes an already proven platform visually extraordinary for a buyer who wants the G-Shock identity without the standard black resin appearance that the market produces by the millions. At around $79, the DW5600 SKE7 is the G-Shock that proves creativity does not require budget. It is the most visually distinctive watch on this list for the least money, and it is nearly impossible to ignore on the wrist. Number 8, Casio G-Shock GD350, Gulf Delta. Most G-Shocks are built around the assumption that the wearer needs accurate time under difficult conditions. The Gulf Delta GD350 is built around the assumption that the wearer needs accurate time under the most extreme conditions the brand has ever tested against. The GD350 carries G-Shock's triple crown of toughness, shock resistance, magnetic resistance, and low-temperature resistance down to 20 degrees Celsius. The oversized digital display with bold typesetting prioritizes readability in exactly the environments where visibility is compromised: bright cold, wet darkness, and physical chaos. The case is large, the buttons are oversized and glove-operable, and the overall construction communicates purpose without ambiguity. The multiple alarm system, countdown timer, world time across 48 cities, and full chronograph function provide a complete timing tool suite appropriate to outdoor, military-adjacent, and extreme sports applications. The negative display ensures contrast in direct sunlight without battery drain. The Gulf Delta name references the original GD350's development for use in extreme climate environments. The engineering decisions reflect that origin in every physical detail. This is not a fashion-driven G-Shock. It is a working instrument dressed in G-Shock architecture. At around $99, the GD350 is the G-Shock for buyers who work or operate in genuine cold, genuine darkness, and genuine physical stress. Capable, uncompromising, and priced in a way that makes hesitation pointless. Number 7. Casio G-Shock GW9500 Mudman. Where the standard G-Shock handles outdoor conditions, the Mudman was designed for the specific condition that defeats most watches before the user even notices: mud infiltration through button gaps and crown seals. The GW9500 Mudman features fully protected buttons recessed behind a guard structure that prevents mud, sand, and debris from jamming the controls or infiltrating the case. In field conditions where the watch is pressed against soil, dragged through wet ground, or submerged in silt-heavy water, the Mudman continues functioning without the button failures that render conventional watches operationally useless in exactly the moments they are most needed. Tough solar charging eliminates battery concern in extended field deployments. Multi-band 6 atomic timekeeping receives radio corrections from 6 stations globally, maintaining accuracy without manual adjustment across time zones and extended operations. The triple sensor suite delivers compass bearing, barometric pressure, and temperature readings, the navigation fundamentals for land-based outdoor use. The 54-meter case is substantial and deliberate. Water resistance is 200 meters with the same mud resistance that defines the platform. The resin construction keeps weight manageable despite the case dimensions. At around $230, the GW9500 Mudman is the field G-Shock that addresses a specific failure mode most watches ignore entirely. If you operate in environments where mud is not incidental but constant, this is the one that keeps working when others have already stopped. Number 6. Casio G-Shock GWM56.01 Solar Black Resin. This is the G-Shock in its purest, most essential form, and it makes the strongest possible argument that perfection and simplicity are the same thing. The GWM56 takes the original 5600 square case that defined the G-Shock identity and adds exactly 2 things: tough solar charging and multi-band 6 atomic timekeeping. Nothing else changes. The case is the same proportions it has occupied since 1987. The digital display delivers the same functions. The resin construction maintains the same shock and water resistance. 2 additions, 0 compromises. The result is a watch that never needs a battery change and never needs a manual time adjustment. Perpetually accurate, perpetually powered, indefinitely reliable. For a watch that costs less than dinner at a mid-range restaurant, those 2 properties represent a standard that mechanical watches costing hundreds of times more cannot match. Multi-band 6 synchronization means the GWM5610 maintains the same timekeeping accuracy as a laboratory cesium clock, receiving radio corrections automatically from stations in Japan, the US, UK, Germany, and China. The tough solar charging harvests energy from any light source with a power reserve extending to months in complete darkness. At around $99, the GWM561001 is the definitive G-Shock. Not the most complex, not the most feature-rich, simply the most honest. A 40-year-old design made so correct it requires nothing more than the ability to never die and never lose time. Buy one, wear it for 20 years, it will still be accurate. Number 5. Casio G-Shock DW5000R. The DW5000R is not just a G-Shock, it is the G-Shock, a direct, accurate reconstruction of the DW5000C that Casio engineer Kikuo Ibe dropped from a building in 1983 to prove his creation could survive what wristwatches were never designed to endure. The resin case and bezels reference the original architecture precisely. The square proportions, the button placement, the case profile, and the module layout all trace their lineage back to that foundational moment in watch history. Wearing the DW5000R is wearing the origin point of an entire product category. The watch that proved indestructibility was a design parameter, not an accident. The construction is faithful rather than exact. Modern materials and manufacturing bring the original aesthetic into 2026 with contemporary tolerances. Shock resistance meets full G-Shock standard. Water resistance is 200 meters. The digital display delivers time, calendar, stopwatch, alarm, and countdown functions in the original layout. The DW5000R is sold in limited production runs and carries a heritage premium that the standard 5600 does not. It is not trying to add features. It is trying to honor a moment in watchmaking that deserves to be honored, and it does so without nostalgia becoming costume. At around $180, the DW5000R is the G-Shock for buyers who understand what they are holding. Not a budget digital watch, not a fashion accessory. The direct heir to the watch that built the most durable consumer product category in the history of wristwatches. Number 4, Casio G-Shock. GM2110D metal-covered Casio. The original Casio, the GA2100, arrived in 2019 and immediately generated comparisons to integrated bracelet luxury sports watches that cost orders of magnitude more. The GM2110D metal-covered takes that foundation and removes the remaining gap between the comparison and the reality. The stainless steel bezel and case back replace the resin outer layer of the standard GA2100, delivering a premium surface finish that the resin version approximates visually but cannot replicate tactilely. The combination of metal exterior and resin interior maintains the G-Shock shock resistance architecture, while presenting a surface quality that reads as genuinely upmarket at first handling. The 44.4mm octagonal case, the profile responsible for every Royal Oak comparison since launch, sits at just 11.9mm thick, making the GM2110D one of the most wearable everyday G-Shocks in the lineup. The analog-digital display balances traditional hand readability with digital functionality in a layout that does not feel cluttered at this case size. Shock resistance is full G-Shock standard. Water resistance is 200 meters. The resin strap is appropriately understated against the metal case components. The overall execution is mature. This is the Casio for buyers who want the design language of the integrated sports watch category without compromise on G-Shock durability. At around $200, the GM2110D is the metal Casio that makes the luxury sports watch conversation slightly uncomfortable for brands charging 20 times the price for a similar profile. The finishing is different, the movement is different, but the silhouette asks the same question. And increasingly, the answer depends on who you are trying to impress. Number 3, Casio G-Shock GW9400 Rangeman. The Rangeman has appeared on this channel before, and it belongs here again, because in the G-Shock lineup it occupies a position that nothing else touches. The GW9400 is the complete outdoor instrument. Triple sensor technology, compass, altimeter, barometer, thermometer, running simultaneously off tough solar, charging with multi-band 6 atomic timekeeping, ensuring accuracy across extended deployments. The mud-resistant button guards protect controls in exactly the field conditions the sensor suite was designed for. 200 meters of water resistance handles everything from river crossings to full submersion. Sunrise and sunset data, world time across 48 cities, stopwatch, countdown timer. The full G-Shock function stack delivered inside a 53mm case that is large in the hand and surprisingly manageable in the field. The resin construction keeps weight at 86 grams, heavy enough to feel substantial, light enough to forget after an hour. The GW9400 is trusted by military users, mountain rescue personnel, firefighters, and serious outdoor athletes who have evaluated the alternatives and returned to this. That is the most reliable endorsement available for a tool watch. Not marketing campaigns, not celebrity associations, but repeated purchase by professionals who need it to work when conditions make failure unacceptable. At around $180, the Rangeman is the most capable sub-$200 outdoor instrument in production anywhere in the world. Other watches at this price offer sensors. The Rangeman delivers a complete navigation and environmental monitoring platform that earns every professional endorsement it has accumulated over its production life. Number 2. Casio G-Shock GA-B2100 Casio. The GA-B2100 is the Casio growing into its identity, and what it has become in 2026 is one of the most fully resolved everyday watch propositions at any price under $200. The 45.4mm octagonal case at 11.4mm thickness sits on the wrist with an integration between case and bracelet that the original GA-2100 approached and the B2100 achieves. The carbon core guard structure uses carbon fiber reinforced resin in the case construction, delivering structural rigidity at reduced weight while maintaining the slim profile that made the Casio format immediately compelling on release. Bluetooth connectivity to the G-Shock Connected app provides automatic time sync, world time management, and phone finder functionality. The analog digital display combines hands with a digital sub-display delivering alarm, stopwatch, and world time functions without cluttering the primary dial. The battery life extends to approximately 2 years, substantially beyond any solar-free smartwatch alternative. Water resistance is 200 meters. Shock resistance is full G-Shock standard. The combination of carbon core construction, Bluetooth functionality, and the octagonal integrated profile makes the GA-B2100 the everyday Casio for buyers who want connectivity without compromising the G-Shock identity that makes the platform trustworthy in the first place. At around $130, the GA-B2100 is the connected Casio that delivers more daily functionality, more durability, and more design integrity than most connected watches at 3 times the price. It is the watch that a significant portion of this list's audience will end up wearing daily within 6 months of seeing it, and they will not regret it. Number 1. Casio G-Shock GMB2100D1A Full Metal Casio. The GMB2100D1A Full Metal Casio is constructed entirely in stainless steel. Case, bezel, bracelet, all metal, all finished to a standard that Casio's MRG series established as the benchmark for premium G-Shock construction and the full metal brings to the Casio format. The integrated bracelet flows from the octagonal case in a single architectural statement that resolves the comparison to luxury sports watches from suggestion into fact. This watch looks and wears like it belongs on a shelf beside integrated bracelet pieces from manufacturers charging 5 to 10 times more. Because by every measurable standard of surface finishing and material quality, it does. The Zaratsu-adjacent polishing on case surfaces delivers the distortion-free mirror finish on curved elements that defines Japanese finishing excellence. Brushed and polished surfaces are delineated precisely across the bracelet links, case flanks, and bezel. The quality of contrast between surfaces is the detail that separates genuine finishing from surface treatment, and the full metal Casio executes it correctly. Bluetooth connectivity provides automatic time sync and G-Shock connected app functionality. The analog digital display maintains the clean Casio dial architecture, hands for primary timekeeping, digital sub-display for secondary functions, at a size and proportion that the full metal construction wears with complete confidence. Shock resistance remains full G-Shock standard. Water resistance is 200 meters. The engineering integrity that defines every G-Shock is completely preserved inside a case that has graduated into genuine luxury territory. At around $500, the GMB2100D1A full metal Casio sits at a price point that requires no apology and no qualification. It is a fully metal integrated bracelet sports watch from a manufacturer with proven finishing credentials, proven durability standards, and 40 years of accumulated engineering refinement. The watches it invites comparison with do not offer 43 years of shock resistance development. They offer a brand name. The full metal Casio offers the watch. This is number 1 because in 2026 it represents the furthest the G-Shock has ever traveled from that rooftop in 1983, and it did not lose a single thing along the way.